Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a great day today. So we're going to be trying something a little different today. I'm going to try to recreate a makeup look. I'm really excited, but I'm also very nervous, but I'm going to be trying a hung Vanngo look. He did a summer day to night look with Selena Gomez for a Rare Beauty campaign, and I just thought both of the looks were so pretty. So I decided I'm just going to try to recreate it. So y'all know I am not a professional makeup artist, but I'm just going to let loose and have some fun and just see what I can come up with. So before we get started, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by today. My name is SonyaNicole and I post makeup videos here, including some stuff for us 40 and over makeup lovers. So please consider subscribing while you're here today. I would really love to have you join the channel, and of course I would love and appreciate your support. Okay y'all, let's jump right into it. So let me show y'all a couple of pictures. So these are the looks that we're going for today. Most of the work is going to be done in the daytime look, and then Hung just made a few modifications to transform it to a nighttime look. So I'm going to show you guys his technique on the screen, and then I'm going to try to follow it as best as I can. I know that there are a couple of things that I'm going to modify. Some of the products that he used I don't have, and then there's just a couple of areas where I might want to modify the technique, but I'll explain why as we go through it. But what I'm focusing on is the finished look. I want to see if I can create a finished look on me that looks similar to what Selena Gomez has. So let's jump right into it and have some fun.
Hi!
To start every makeup, I always prep the skin. For Selena, I already have some moisturizer already.
Okay, so he is starting off with primer, but I don't use primer, so I'm going to fast forward to where he starts with the foundation. So Selena already has moisturizer on. I have on moisturizer / sunscreen. So we're going to go to where he starts with the foundation.
For foundation and concealer, I'm using the Rare Beauty foundation and concealer in shade 150C.
So you're really good at helping me pick out the right colors in my foundation, because I feel like maybe I have, if I'm wrong, because you're in my face all the time, but it's
okay. So he dotted the foundation all over the face, and he's using the Rare Beauty sponge to blend it out. So I'm going to start off with my foundation. I'm just shaking it up. I'm in the shade 440C in this, and I'm just going to start by dotting it on. And I like to put most of my foundation on my cheeks because I have a lot of dark spots there. All right, I might have to go in and build up my coverage a little bit because Selena pretty much has clear skin, but I'm going to blend this out. I don't have the Rare Beauty sponge. I'm going to be using my Equal Tools Bio Blender sponge. And this is actually one of my favorite foundations. I just haven't used it in a while, but this is a really nice foundation. And then instead of applying foundation onto my forehead, I like to take the residual product and use it up here just because I don't really need a whole lot of coverage up here. So I like minimal product on my forehead. And then I'm going to go in with just a little bit more on the cheek area. Okay, so let's move on to the concealer.
For concealer, Selena have amazing skin. I'm only gonna put under the eye area, around the nose.
Okay, so that's a good amount of under eye concealer. That's more than what I normally put on. So I'll show y'all how I'm gonna do it just because I don't want to put that much under eye concealer in this area, but I want to see first how he's gonna blend this out.
my under eyes. I don't know if it's because when I do what I do and I love it, but you kind of look at yourself a lot.
So he's using the same foundation sponge to blend out the concealer also, but I'm going to switch up the way that I'm going to apply the concealer just a little bit. So I do have the Rare Beauty concealer. I have it in 390 and 340. I think this concealer is really good for adding brightness in some areas, but for me it just doesn't give enough coverage. So I am going to put some of this on in other areas of my face. But for my under eye and on the corners of my mouth, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This one is in the shade Mocha. And instead of putting on as much under eye concealer as he used for Selena, I'm going to start off with just this amount for the under eye. I just don't like to have too much concealer in this area. And then I'm also going to put some of this in the corners of my mouth because these are the areas where I really want to have a good amount of coverage. And then I'm going to go in with the concealer in 390, and then I'm going to put it around my nose. So he put some here and right there, because in these areas around my nose I don't really need extra coverage. I just want some brightness right there. But where I put the Too Faced concealer, I need coverage there. So I usually blend out my under eye concealer with a brush because that's another way to get more coverage. But I'm gonna stick with my sponge. I'll see how it looks. If I feel like I just need more coverage, then I'll just add a little bit more. But I'm gonna take the sponge that I use for my foundation, and I'm gonna start blending out. The good thing about using whatever you use for your foundation is that it has leftover product on it, so it will help the shades of your foundation and concealer to fuse into each other a little bit better. Yeah, so I feel like I'm not getting as much coverage as I normally would with using my brush. So I might go back in and add a little bit more. And then I'm gonna blend on the sides of the mouth. And then I'll blend around the nose. And I'm gonna go back in with just a tiny bit more under eye concealer. I just need more coverage right here than Selena does. So I just need a little more assistance in this area. Okay, I'm assuming we're gonna be setting the under eye next. I did watch this already, but I just can't remember step by step.
Selena have amazing bone structure and everything, but on camera,
we're
I
bronzing
always like
next.
to do slightly shading. I don't want to call contour because it's not really heavy, and I think the shape some people they don't need it. But because she be on camera a lot, so that's why the light blow out everything, and I usually like to bring back the shading of the cheekbone and everything with a little bit bronzing cream. And the way I do, just a little bit around the jawline, the cheekbone, and around the hairline.
So he's going on to bronzer next, and he's using the Huda Beauty Tantour Cream Bronzer. I don't have that one, so I'm gonna be using my Tower 28 cream bronzer, and he's using the Rare Beauty foundation brush to blend this out, and I do have that. So he's putting that on the jawline, the cheek, and on the forehead. So I'm just gonna pat this on. And this bronzer, to me, it doesn't look like it in the pan. To me, it looks like it's going to be kind of golden, but it has like a really nice red hue to it. And I love like red tone bronzers. I feel like I put too much on my forehead just now, but I'll go back and clean that up. So before we move on to the next step, I'm going to go back in with my foundation sponge, and I'm just going to pat on my forehead a little bit because I feel like I just overdid it with the bronzer on my forehead. And I usually put bronzer on my nose too, but he's not going to do that, so I'm going to skip that as well. So he's using a Chanel powder, which I don't have. I'm going to go in with my Kosas. This is the Pillowy Cloud Set Powder. I think the name of the shade is Pillowy. It's called the Cloud Set Powder, and this shade is called Pillowy. So since it's been a couple minutes since I applied the under eye concealer, I'm just going to take one of the clean sides of my sponge and just lightly pat over this area, just to like do one final blend and make sure it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to use this on all the areas where we put the concealer. So I'm just realizing I don't think I put concealer on my chin. I don't think I did that, so let me go back and do that really quickly. So I'm picking up a little bit more of the Rare Beauty concealer. I might be repeating this. I honestly can't remember if I put concealer down here or not, but I don't think I did. I don't know. Now that I'm blending this out, I feel like I did this already. I don't know. And then I'm just gonna quickly set that concealer on the chin.
I also gonna use a little bronzer just to set the contour area.
Okay, so he's using the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which I do have. I am in the shade 3 Tan. Ooh, I hit pan on this. Can y'all see that little tiny piece of pan in the middle? I didn't even notice that. It's so exciting when you hit pan on something. But anyway, this is the shade 3 Tan, and I'm going to set the cream bronzer with this. This is a very warm bronzer, so I want to be careful to not put on too much of this because the cream bronzer that I use is also quite warm. So I'm just going to very lightly set all the areas where I put the cream bronzer.
For the first look I'm going to do today, I'm going to do more an easy summer look, which is Selena, who usually would do herself, and she's very good herself at home. It's something
Sometimes
that she would enjoy to do. And I'm going to use, for the color part, I was only use one cream shadow, one lip balm gloss, and then one moussey blush, just like a.
So I do have the blush and the cream eyeshadow, but not the lip gloss, but I'm going to show y'all what I'm going to use in a minute.
So I'm going to do with a brush. You can use the finger as well. And basically, as little as you want, as much as you want, because this product is very beautiful and it gives you more matte finish is that degree, so you can actually build it up really well.
So he's actually applying the blush the way I like to apply it, which is to bring it back just a little bit. I don't care for blush like right on the apples of my cheek. So I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Nearly Apricot. Mine is really dirty because I used to use this quite a bit. And this is going to kind of like overlap the bronzer just a little bit. But I like to take my blush and kind of like drag it up toward my temples a little bit, and it kind of like, you know, lifts the face.
I generally like the blush a little higher on the higher cheekbone here. I think it gives the face a little lift. If you want more sweet, innocent look, you can do more around the cheek area here. I'm gonna do the lips next before I go to the eye and the eyebrow.
This is so weird because I usually do my eyebrows after my foundation, so I feel kind of weird having done all of this already. And doing lips, like I usually do lips last, but...
This is the color I'm using.
is it nearly
Rose? Yeah.
nearly rose?
Okay, so the color of the lip gloss that she's using is very pink. I don't have that lip gloss, and I think out of all of the ones that I have, the closest one would be the new Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat. This is a sheer red color, but I think it looks very pink on my lips because it is very sheer, and the natural color of my lips is really pink. So I do have another lip gloss on already, so let me wipe this off. So I'm gonna put on a good amount of this lip gloss so I can get a really nice shiny look. But because it's so sheer, the color of it, it's still gonna look like my natural lip color. Okay, and there is the gloss. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think it looks pink on my lips? I think it enhances like my natural pink lip color.
If someone wants a little more color on the eye to define the eye shape more, I recommend to use the cream eyeshadow. It does give you plenty time to apply, to blend before it's set, which I love, because a lot of time cream eyeshadow you put on and it's set right away and you cannot blend. You can see a little bit go a long way.
Okay, so he's using the shade Nearly Neutral. I don't have that shade, but I do have Nearly Mauve. So I'm gonna use this, and he didn't use an eye primer, so I am gonna skip that. And he picked it up on a blending brush, and he's just sweeping it across the lid. And this liquid shadow really is easy to work with because just like he said, it doesn't dry down very fast at all. So you can like really take your time and play with this. Now this is really different for me doing eyeshadow before eyebrows. I always do my brows first, so So my eyeshadow color is definitely different from hers, but I think it's going with everything else that's on my face. It's like a really nice soft like monochrome look, so I'm liking this so far.
If you want to go a little further, I would encourage you to use a little mascara. I'm going to use just one coat just to enhance the lashes.
Okay, so he used the Lancome mascara that I don't have. So I'm going to go in with my favorite mascara ever. This is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. 9 times out of 10, this is the mascara that I'm wearing. And this thing is only $5, and I think it's like the best mascara ever. So I'm going to go in with just one coat of this. Okay, I put mascara just on the outer part of the lower lash line because that's what I normally do.
For a little highlight, I'm going to use highlighter, also from Rare Beauty. This is one of my favorite
highlighter to mine.
This is one of my favorite highlighter because I think it's like glow from within, which I love because it's not too sparkly. It's very luminous without, you can see that, just really subtle.
Okay, so he's using the shade Mesmerize, and it happens to be the one that I have, and he's applying it with a brush. So he's putting some on his hand and picking it up from there so that it's not as pigmented. This is a really pretty highlighter. I haven't been using it lately just because I just haven't been using highlighter lately, which is crazy because when I first got into makeup, I used to love highlighter, but just haven't been wanting to use it lately. So he's just putting it right on the high points of the cheek, and it does give like a very nice subtle glow right in that area. And I do like the way that I just applied that. I never did this before. I usually just dot it on the high points of my cheek and blend it out that way, but this gave a really nice subtle like natural looking glow on the high point of my cheek. So
I think I love for this look, I don't want to fill it in too much, and I love that your brow, they do one side have the color and then gonna use them just to set them, and for the one after I will make them a little more defined.
So her brows are naturally more full than mine. Mine are just a lot more sparse. So I usually go in with a powder for my brows, but today I'm going to use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen because I do think that that gives like a really natural look. I don't have the Rare Beauty brow pencil, and I don't ever use those types of products anyway because I think my brows are just so sparse that those types of fillers are just hard for me to use. So I'm gonna go in with this to just lightly fill them in because he did just mention that we're gonna go in a little later on and make the brows look a little more defined for the nighttime look. So I'm gonna keep the brows natural for this part of it. Okay, I did most of my brows off camera, otherwise we would be here all night. So let's go to the next step.
That completes the first look I'm doing for you guys, and I want to give the skin even more radiance by spraying a little setting mist.
Okay, so he's using the Rare Beauty mist, which I don't have, but I think what I have that's similar to that is the Iconic London Prep Set and Glow mist. So this is a really nice mist that gives like an added like glow to your makeup. So I'm going to finish off with this. Okay, y'all, here is the completed first look, so let me know what y'all think. I do think it looks really nice and natural and light and summery, so I think I did okay, but let me know what y'all think in the comments. We're gonna move on to the nighttime look.
For the second look, I'm not going to change anything with the eye makeup or blush or anything. I'm going to add on with Selena Rare Beauty new palette. They just launched recently, which is great for you to use at home. The first part I'm going to do is look up and use that color all over.
So he's starting off with this shade here, and I'm thinking that that's going to be like too close to my skin tone, so I'm going to be mixing this one with this brown shade here, and then he's sweeping the color all across the lower lash line. So I'm just going to mix those two shades together, and Yeah, see, this one is giving me like a nice shadow on the lower lash line. That orange color on its own would not have really done anything for me.
You can see I keep exactly the same shadow earlier. I don't have to take it off. And this one, I'm doing all over the eyelid and not too far up.
Okay, so he went in with that same orange shade and he is applying that on top of the liquid eyeshadow. And I'm thinking maybe I should use this like purpley mauve shade instead, because I think that's a little bit closer to the mauve color that I have on my lid. So I know it's not gonna look exactly like hers because the color is gonna be a little off, but I feel like he might be picking that orange shade because it's very close to the liquid eyeshadow shade that he used. So I'm gonna go in with the mauve shade, and he said not to bring this shade too far up, so I'm gonna stop it right there.
The second step, you can use a thick blending brush like this, and you use this color. This part, I'm gonna try to do more, to shape the eye a bit more almondy and just pull the eye out a little bit both sides. First, I'm gonna do, close your eye. Instead, do a light color in the corner. I'm use this dark color in the corner area. Like, you know, we usually do the triangle on the outer corner, but I'm doing the inner corner and the outer corner as well.
Okay, I'll try my best to do what he's doing, but I don't know how this is gonna work out. So I'm gonna take that same brown shade. Looks like he's dragging it right on the inner part of the lid. That's gonna be hard for me because I hardly have any lid space. So I'm just gonna start by like just dragging this up from the inner corner. I'm gonna pat it on so that I can build it up, and then I'll go back and, oh, I got glitter on my brush. All right, I'm gonna pack it on right in this inner corner, and then I'm gonna blend it out so that it's not so harsh.
So you see, that's the first part. You can start from here. It's still a nice dramatic shadow look, but I'm gonna do a different one. I'm gonna do a bit more outer part here as well. And you can see that the same triangle I do in the part, I do the outer part. And again, I just blend this out.
Okay, so he's pretty much doing the same thing on the outer corner. Let me see, let me pat it on like I did on the other side. Okay, it doesn't look horrible. Okay, I don't think that looks too far off from what he's doing, but let's see what the next step is.
And then I also do a little bit on the bottom part as well.
Okay, so he's taking that same shade and he's going under the lower lash line just to connect the top to the bottom. So I'm just going to concentrate this right on the outer part. Looks like he's just doing the outer part of the lower lash line.
The next step is the most exciting one. I love this glitter texture. You can use your finger,
I'm really scared about this glitter.
or you can use your brush. It's quite amazing. And then I put right in the center area.
Okay, so he's not using anything to catch the fallout, and it doesn't look like there's any fallout on her cheek, but I'm scared that I'm gonna get fallout. So I have a little napkin here, so I'm just gonna place this right on my cheek area to prevent myself from getting fallout. And then I'm just gonna start, I should have switched my hands, I don't know why I did that. So I'm just tapping my finger into the glitter, and I'm just going to pat it right in the middle of the lid. I never use glitter on my eye looks because I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So I think that I'm gonna have to switch over to a brush so that I can be a little more precise. And then I'm just gonna tap right in the center of my lid. I was trying not to get the glitter on my eyelashes, but that didn't work. But I do remember he's gonna go back on top. He's gonna go back over the lashes with another coat of mascara though, so. Okay, my glitter does not look as like precise as his, but I'm gonna stop there because I'm really scared that I'm gonna mess it up. So I'm gonna stop right there. Let me see what the next step is.
And then I go back to this blending brush, and I just blend out the edges again.
Okay, so he's just blending out the edges where the glitter and the matte shade meet. So I feel like I need to protect my face again when I do this. I'm actually going to pick up some more of that mauve shade on my brush and then blend out. I just moved the glitter around. I just moved it around. I didn't really blend anything out, but all right, I'm gonna stop right there because I still got a good amount of fallout on my cheeks, so I don't want to like mess it up any further. So I'm just gonna stop right there with the glitter.
I'm going to define the brow a little more, just a little more dramatic. So I'm using.
All right, so he's filling in the brows just a little bit more, so I'm gonna do the same thing, and I am gonna use my powder this time. This is my ABH Brow Powder Duo. So I'm just gonna go in and just fill them in just a little bit more.
This is one of my favorite shades from Selena lip cream. I want to wear red, but not red. So it's like a little view directly from the tube. You can see that it's more a bricky color. I think it's very flattering color. And it's also a great color for those who want to wear red, but not red. So it's like a little almost there between color. You can use them.
So that's what the color looks like. So let me take my lip gloss off. Okay, so remember I did have to get creative with this. I do have 3 of the lip creams from Rare Beauty, but I don't have the shade that she happens to be using. So I'm gonna start off with this lip liner. This is from Appeal Cosmetics and it's called the Desert Taupe Gel Liner. So you should be able to tell that it's a nice, like warm, almost like a yellowy toned brown. So I'm gonna put this pretty much all over my lips. And then I'm gonna top it with the Rare Beauty lip cream in Inspire. This is the one that I thought she was wearing. This is like a bright red shade. To me, her lips look like they have just a little hint of shine to them. So I'm gonna top this with a lip gloss. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Gloss Bomb Cream in Honey Waffles. And this one also has like a very like brownish yellowy tone to it. So what I'm trying to do is mix yellows and reds together, which should give me like orange. So I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of this. And I think that's it. I think that's all I need right there. I just want like a little bit of shine to my lips. So I know that her lips definitely look like more of like a vibrant orange. It's not, it's like a brick orange like he said, but her lips are just a bit more vibrant than mine. But just remember, I had to like come up with this concoction. I played around with a bunch of different lip products today, and I feel like this one is a very close match, or the closest match that I can come up with, I'll say. Okay guys, and here is the completed nighttime look. So we know that the lip color is a little different from hers and there's some glitter going on my cheeks, but let me know what y'all think. I think I did okay considering the fact that this was something totally different for me, especially the eyeshadow, but I think I did all right. But I had a lot of fun filming this video today, so let me know in the comments what you think. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.